Are you not entertained? Match day 2, the first batch of match day 2 of 8 in the Champions League phase, has just been concluded. And, just take a look at the results. Again, are you not entertained? I mean, of course, Atalanta, Club Brugge, Club Brugge got the first goal. However, Atalanta was able to get an equalizer and eventually won that match with 2 goals. And also Real Madrid, Kairat Mati versus Real Madrid, of course, we expected Real Madrid to win. I mean, considering how they lost woefully to Atletico Madrid in La Liga, we expected them to win. It's Kairat Mati. But we also saw the great margin, but Kairat played, a good game. I mean, the first 8 seconds of that match, they almost got a goal. If not for Courtois, should I say save or catch, whichever one, of course. But then, like I said before in a previous video, this should not motivate them. I mean, it is Kairat Mati. The first true test of this season for Xabi Alonso and the team was the match in the weekend against Atletico Madrid, and they failed woefully. So this is not something to celebrate. However, we have to celebrate Kylian Mbappé, the man on fire as he stands. Of course, a hat-trick for Kylian Mbappé, and also another man of the match award for him. 60 goals for club as he stands in, I think, 89 matches. Wow, what a great feat for him. I mean, it is Kylian Mbappé. Even if we cannot celebrate Real Madrid as he stands now, because I still feel awful about what happened in the weekend, I have to celebrate Kylian Mbappé. And later in the day we saw the remaining 6 other matches. Osimhen got a goal. Yeah, from the spot he got a goal, giving Galatasaray that 3 points that they needed. You remember they lost their first match, but it's rather unfortunate for Liverpool, losing 2 games consecutively. They lost in the Premier League last, and also have just lost their first game of the season in the Champions League. Guys, yes, it was from the spot, but he was able to convert that penalty. I mean, you can say it's just penalty. Fernandes lost one in the weekend. Guys, it is what it is. Congratulations to Galatasaray on their first wins. Of course, Marcel showed highest class. I mean, they lost to Real Madrid in the first game. They had to recover it somehow. It was 4-2 Marcel and 0-2 Ajax. Of course, they were in their own home, but then surprisingly they got this great margin win with a great margin. And also Chelsea, 1 goal for them. However, they secured 3 points, which is what is important. I mean, they played against Benfica. Benfica played a good game, but Chelsea was able to hold it down. Now Atletico Madrid is on fire as it stands. In the weekend it was 5-2 against Real Madrid. Right now it is 5-1 against Frankfurt. Frankfurt is not an easy team to beat, but they were able to secure 5 goals and just 1 for Frankfurt. They didn't start the season pretty well, but they were struggling. But as it stands now, I think they've gotten their form, and they're on fire. So any team that wants to play ATM right now needs to come correct. Yes, also of course we expected Bayern Munich to get a win. It was 5 to Bayern Munich and 1-2 Pafos. Of course, it was an expected win for the Inter Milan versus Liverpool. Of course, we expected Inter Milan to win, and they did just that with 3 goals to 0 for Slava Prague. And also the last match, Tottenham versus Bodo Glimt versus Tottenham. That match was tough. I actually did not expect 4 goals from that match. Of course, it was 2 for Bodo Glimt and 0 for Tottenham. At some point, Tottenham was able to get a goal and even an equalizer, to make it 2-2 towards the end of that match. What a game. I mean, the matches were quite entertaining. Were you not entertained again? Yes, we have come to the end of today's Success Talks Football. Look out for the fixtures for tomorrow and also the post-match analysis. Now, before I stop that, the penalty that was given to Galatasaray, some people were saying, was it the penalty? Was it not? Remember that penalty was also given to Liverpool. However, it was, VAR had to call the referee to go check it. That was not a penalty. When I saw it, I knew it wasn't a penalty. Now to the one for Galatasaray, some people were saying it was a soft touch. Yes, some referees could have not given it as a penalty, but this one decided to give it. Yeah, it is a soft touch. If that was in the Premier League, I'm not sure it would have been given as a penalty. But these things it changes. If you ask me, I would say that was not a penalty. That should not. Let me not say that. I would not give it as a penalty. I mean, it was a soft touch, but then the referee decided it was going to be a penalty. It's a touch. How hard it should be is what we really are not certain about now. That is the prerogative of the referee to decide. We've come to the end of this episode. This Success Talks Football once again.